So for my guests, I have uh, student body president Red. He's a host of the show, and then I have a dear friend, engineer Greg Hankins, and so I'm gonna start off by asking uh, Greg a couple questions about
Three,
his
two,
career.
one.
So yeah, how long you been in your field, your line of business?
In engineering,
Yeah.
uh, basically since I graduated from school, 2000, 2006, 2005, like middle 2005 till pretty much now. And I took a break like right around 2009 to work for like a nonprofit, but decided that wasn't my world. So went straight back to engineering. I worked pretty much from everything from commercial construction to oil and gas, and now the automotive industry. So like heavy trucking,
Yeah, yeah.
Daimler Trucks North America, Freightliner. You guys know that brand. Um,
Does that have any correlation with like automotive or anything like that?
yeah, I mean the Class 8 trucks are kind of the most widely known. The trucks that you see on the highway hauling all the trailers. That's the Class 8.
So you say it's safe to say that your automotive experience has something to do with you getting your engineering degree.
That's actually what I wanted to do when I first went into school, was work on cars. Yeah, but on the West Coast, it's not really that big of a deal, right?
Yeah.
You pretty much have Freightliner. Um, uh, Gosh, I can never remember the name of the company.
Moshina.
Um, Kenworth up in Washington.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. All the other ones are.
So your line of business, somebody could call you up and have you wire their whole home, or what about studio or something like that?
No, that's more like electrician or like audio tech or somebody like that. I mean, I could do it,
Right.
but that's because I'm interested in that kind of stuff. Most engineers are mostly responsible for paperwork.
Okay.
So like the design blueprints, not the actual putting the stuff together.
Blueprints is important.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's true.
We got to follow some blueprints.
Right. But those two, I would say those two parties need to work closely together.
So how long did it take you to get expertise in your field, line of business?
That's a good question. Probably.
Did you start working on it before the degree?
I did. Yeah, actually, I worked for Bonneville Power Administration for like 4 years as an intern. But man, I wasn't serious. Like that industry was, to me, I thought it was boring.
Right.
And at that point, I didn't have to work. It was an internship, right?
Right.
I tried so hard to force myself into it, but I mean, it's power distribution, like Bonneville Dam, Celilo substation, like basically.
You know anything about this, Red?
A little bit. I'm posting in the chat a link to local group that does training for electricians.
Yeah.
Kind of segues 45th, 148th, something like that, kind of by the Costco.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when I was doing that internship, at first the group I was working with, they were like the test and energize group. So they're pretty much on the road 90% of the time, at least the people who are busy. And they go from substation to substation doing install work and repair work on really large, like power circuit breakers, transformers, you name it, potential transformers, current transformers, capacitor banks. They do all that stuff, but it's for like 115 kV and above, up to 500 kV. Like really big power, the power that's going from like California to Montana. That's the stuff they're responsible for. So looking back, like, I don't think I was as grateful as I should have been. It's a pretty good experience, but man, government work is that's a whole nother deal. People who work in government know, like, it's just, they're on their own timeline. It's very slow, very like long-term sort of looking. So at the time I was like, man, this is not what I want to do.
Right.
Anyway, but it's fun, and it's a huge industry for electricians. Like they get paid really well. The guys who do all of the actual install work.
Hmm. I know these guys, the Local 48 has 3 different training programs, and the longest one is the one you're talking about, definitely. There's 2 other programs. One of them's, I don't know all the names. One of them I think is called like Limited Residential, and then the other one is Low Energy or Limited Energy. It might be Limited Energy. And
Okay.
it's like you were saying, it's under like 400 or under 40 volts or whatever, working inside of systems. And I was thinking that might be something that would be more for getting into what Antonio was talking about
Yeah.
like wiring up a studio. Might
Yeah.
be like more low energy or low
Exactly.
voltage systems.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I would say most electricians who are kind of worth their salt, they can do anything in the medium voltage and below category. Because I mean, I guess it depends on which industry you're talking about, but for the power industry, medium voltage, I believe, starts at 800. It's either 800 or 480. It's actually pretty low, all the way up to 32 kilovolts. And then after 32 kilovolts is considered high voltage. But
you guys see this right here? Red, you see this?
You said you're sharing screen, but I don't see anything. It's just blank.
it might still be loading, huh?
No,
For him.
it should show.
Otherwise, I see your camera.
Oh, I wonder what's being shared because I'm also recording, so it may actually just be
There you go.
Oh, it's finally popped up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you see our screen.
Yeah. Now I see your screen of the computer.
You want to go to that, right?
Which is ironically the same thing that's on my screen.
This is what he's trying to show you.
You're on, electrician apprentice.
And then you can do it where we show it to the group.
Yeah. I think that's the national. I think it says apprentice headquarters.
Oh, okay.
I just put a second link up for 48, which is, I believe, the local that covers, I want to say 7 counties in Oregon and Washington. I know it's one of the larger areas. It's most of the rural areas between here and.
Yeah, actually, lineman is the profession that most of the guys who work out on the high voltage stuff.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Would be qualified for, and then they do IBEW training, and then also like Bonneville has their own sort of onboarding. Honestly, like my middle brother he was considering going for that program, but it's like that was back in like 2007, and it was extremely competitive. Like those guys are highly paid. It's obviously a pretty dangerous job in some areas, depending on what kind of work you're doing. But they make good money, and it's a worthwhile profession for sure, man. If you guys can get somebody who's working in that, that'd be good information.
Right.
So somebody could talk about what they actually do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I could reach out to a fellow I know. I haven't talked to him in a while, but last time I talked to him, he was just starting the apprenticeship. He's like a friend of a friend that I don't really keep track of often, but I know the guy. I have his phone number.
Right. Yeah, so Red, tell us a little bit about who you are, man. It's very hard to get in the position that you've gotten into, Red, even with brain. So
Well, I'm not holding any formal positions right now. I used to be the financial affairs representative for the Associated Student Body at Mount Hood Community College. And then after I started at Portland State, I spent a little time working on the Judicial Review Board there. But currently, I'm trying to graduate, so I'm doing all my focus on my senior thesis, which is an analysis of the gentrification of Albina, but also spatial analysis of like where people went. I'm hoping to get the new census data soon and be able to use some mapping software to look at, like, people talk about the gentrification of Albina, but people don't disappear, they go somewhere else. And so it's like, where have those people gone? And like, just where have the people of Portland moved to as like certain areas, like the Pearl District, have become nice? Like, you know,
Right.
where has that population moved to? And you can't track individuals, but you can track it on right now. Doing a little gardening in my backyard.
Yeah. On our show, man. You know, this is the basis of it, man. Where we just bring up screenshots and we commentate and we just show the world, give awareness. So
What about you, Antonio? Tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your deal? What's important to you?
yeah, so as we know, I'm musician, singer of the year, Voice of Africa, and now one of America's most prominent men, according to Marquise Who's Who. So my whole deal is spreading awareness and teaching, giving back and teaching. You know, so we fight for humanity. So we just want to, you know, everything that we learned in the books and learned in education, we want to share, you know, so it doesn't, you know, become wasted information and knowledge.
So how long you been doing music?
I actually been doing music for a very long time. I'd say 20 years professionally. Serious.
What is that?
This is my latest song.